Thank you so much for joining me today for this lovely restorative yoga practice. My name is Christine. I am practicing today on Zoom with a group from Breast Friends in Tigard, Oregon. I've linked their website below in the description box. If you want more information about them, please click on the link below. And please share this video if you think it will be helpful for anybody else. So we'll come to sit in a chair, hopefully one that doesn't have wheels on it so you won't be rolling around. And if you're sitting at your kitchen table or at your desk or something like that, you might want to orient your chair towards that surface so that your hips and your shoulders are square. We can actually use that at points during our practice if need be, and they can be very helpful. And sometimes we're just sort of stuck at our desk, or that's the only place we have a chair. So just keeping that in mind, if you have yoga blocks or blankets or anything else that you think might make your practice more comfortable and more enjoyable for you, grab those things now. If you're chilly, if you're warm, do what you need to do to make yourself comfortable. This is our time to reunite our bodies and our minds and our breath so that we can really calm our nervous systems. And we do that by feeling safe and cared for. So take this time to make yourself feel cared for. We can give ourselves that as a gift. So find that comfortable seat. Begin to close your eyes if you feel safe to do so, or soften your gaze, maybe just kind of letting go of the focus. And begin to just feel your feet on the ground. Whatever that is for you right now, maybe you're barefoot like me, maybe you're wearing socks or slippers, maybe you're super lucky and you're standing and you're out on the grass outside, which is wonderful in and of itself. And just feel your feet on the ground here, maybe closing the eyes to go inward. And just really bring all your attention down to the bottoms of your feet. We're just redirecting our attention to the place where we're connected and supported, right here in this present moment. You might notice that your thinking mind is getting a little bit of a break as you redirect your attention just to the bottoms of your feet. How do they feel? Hot, cold? Do you feel the contact underneath all 10 toes? If you have all 10 toes, maybe some people don't. Whatever toes you have. And you might lift your toes up and spread them out wide here, and then press them back to the ground. And then lift them up again and spread them out wide, and just feel how it feels when you put the toes back down. In fact, this next time, lift your toes up and think about just putting your pinkies down, and then the second toe, and then the middle toes, and then the next ones, and then the big toes. And just feeling all 10 toes on the ground. And then when you're ready, we'll press into the balls of the feet and lift the heels off the floor. And then lower them down. And lift up. And lower down. And just feel your heels touching the ground. Rolling back and forth now, maybe rolling up onto the balls and back onto the heels, any amount, whatever feels comfortable for you. And if it doesn't feel comfortable, maybe you have neuropathy or something like that in your feet, you can keep your feet stable and just feel the contact of the ground underneath you, and gradually begin to come back to a place where you can feel a little bit of relaxation there. In fact, let's all bring our feet to stillness. And just notice your feet right now. After that little bit of movement, notice any sense of energy or aliveness in your feet. Maybe a tingling, maybe they're a little warmer now. And then we'll begin to lift and lower those heels again, but this time we're gonna do it a little faster. We're gonna start stimulating the lymphatic system here. Our lymph tends to pull down into our hands and feet, the lower extremities during the day. And we wanna stimulate it so it can move back up towards the heart. So we're just gonna lift and lower the heels. Oh, I should back a little bit here. Lift and lower the heels. Let them bounce. You can have your palms resting on your thighs. And hopefully you don't have downstairs neighbors. If you don't have downstairs neighbors, if you're comfortable with it, maybe you press a little more firmly. And you might like to stay right here, seated in your chair, sitting tall, feeling grounded, or you could come to stand up, maybe alongside your chair for balance, and then bounce here. Just maybe just a little bit, just picking up those heels. Let your arms just be heavy. Relax your jaw. Just let yourself bounce. We're gonna just do this for 30 more seconds. We can do anything for 30 seconds. And if you come to stand and decide you want to sit again, go ahead and do that. Remember, we're taking care of ourselves today. Ooh, 10 more seconds. Yes, I did buy a little second counter. It keeps me on track most of the time. And when you're ready to stop, we'll stop. And just come to stillness. Maybe closing your eyes again, whether you're sitting or standing. Standing, you might be challenging your balance a bit, but you've got your chair right next to you. And just notice, again, like with the feet, any sense of energy, vitality, aliveness. And then whether you're sitting or standing, we're gonna do a little more lymphatic stimulation. If you need to take a bio break of any sort, please go ahead and feel free to do that. This will be posted to YouTube later on, so you can always come back to it if you need to. But we'll come to either stand or sit. And we'll go ahead and reach our arms forward as much as feels good. Just lift the palms up from the knees here. And then we'll tilt the fingers down towards the ground and just wiggle the fingers. And you can have your hands basically hovering over your knees, or if the arms get tired, you can bring them back down and just wiggle your fingers here, maybe pointing your fingertips down, using the support of your knees. Or you can bring them up high if you have a little more today. And just wiggle those fingers down. And then we'll open and close the fingers. And you can stay wherever you are now, or maybe begin to reach your hands up towards the sky. And again, like with the feet, we're stimulating the lymph that's gathered down in the hands. And we're drawing it back towards the lymph nodes in the armpits. We'll take a big inhale wherever you are. Lift your heart, lift your head up towards the sky, any amount. And then we'll bring the hands together at the heart. We'll just press the palms together. Let your thumbs rest on your sternum. Feel your thumbs touching each other and your index fingers. your middle fingers, the fourth finger, and the pinkies. Feel the heels of the hands touching. Feel any warmth or coolness, any sense of energy. And our intention here today is, again, to care for ourselves. And I like to set an intention for yoga. Maybe sometimes it's to get stronger. There is a time and a place for that kind of yoga. Sometimes it's to build balance. Sometimes it's to increase flexibility. But this kind today is a restorative kind to help you come back into homeostasis, to calm your nervous system. We all live in a pretty stressful culture and are in a very common state of low-grade stress at best. And so the power of our practice here today is just to calm the nervous system. So let's release the hands to the thighs. And with that sense of self-care, we'll roll the shoulders up and down and back. And then maybe draw them up towards your ears and back down towards the ground, up towards the ears and down towards the ground. And just continue moving at your own pace as much as feels good to you. You don't have to go to 100%, just maybe 70% of your range of motion, just soft and gentle and flowy. And then we'll loop the shoulders up and down and back one last time and kind of draw the shoulder blades down almost as if you're trying to tuck them into your back pockets. And notice how that lifts your heart. And then tuck your chin gently and draw the base of your skull up and back. Take a nice inhale here. Notice where you feel the expansion in your body. And as you exhale, let it go with a big sigh, maybe out your mouth, maybe audibly, something like this. Inhale through the nose. Do that a couple more times, a nice big cleansing breath. Inhale through the nose, exhale out the mouth, and just notice where you feel your body expand, maybe in your chest, maybe your belly, maybe your low back. Relax those shoulders down, relax your jaw. And if you are seated in the chair and you need to bring a blanket or a pillow behind you for a little support, please do that. Otherwise, try to stay nice and tall here. Just as much as feels good for you. Then we're gonna do a little more lymphatic stimulation. So extend your left arm out long. You can have it down as low as your knee or up to shoulder height. And we're gonna curl the fingers in of the right hand. And then we're gonna use the flat part of the fingers here to tap on the wrist. The left palm's turned down. And we're just going to tap all the way up towards the shoulder. Then we're going to come back down to the wrist and just tap all the way back up towards the shoulder. And just do that a few more times here. Just gentle. And we're always moving from the lower extremity up towards the armpit. And then we'll turn the left palm up to the sky, come back down to the wrist, and tap all the way up with the right hand. Oh, I think the Amazon guy's here. They just leave it at the door. All the way up towards the armpit. And then this time we're gonna bend that left arm and draw the left elbow up towards the sky as much as feels good to you. And if it needs to be out towards the left, that's fine, but as close to the body as you can, because we're gonna take this right hand again and tap down at the elbow towards the armpit. So reach your fingertips down towards your back and lift the elbow up towards the sky. I think it's my toilet paper. All right. And we'll just come down towards that armpit. And then we'll just release that and bring the palms to rest on your lap again. And just notice how your left arm feels compared to your right arm. Again, look for that sense of energy, that pulse of life. And then yoga is all about balance and union. So we'll extend the right arm as much as feels good, starting with the palm facing down, close the fingers of the left hand, and starting at the wrist, we'll just tap our way up towards the shoulder over and over again. You can do this for, just a few times. Any times is better than no times. But up to a minute or two if you have that kind of stamina. And this stimulates that lymphatic fluid. Over 40% of our body, or maybe around 40%, I should say, is made up of lymph. And we'll turn the palms up. And lymph does not have a pump like the circulatory system does. The blood has the heart, but all we have is the movement of the tissues of our body. And that lymph is right under the skin in the fascia. So we can literally tap it up here. And then we'll turn the elbow up to the sky and tap down towards the armpit. Just a few more times, stick with it. And then release. Palms rest on your lap, soften the shoulders, lift the heart, tuck the chin. Inhale, nice big breath. Exhale, let it go out the mouth. Just notice what you notice. Come back to breathing in and out through your nose as you're ready. Wonderful. And then we'll go ahead and do a little more lymph massage. So movement of the tissues of our body, right? So we can open and close our hands, we can tap our heels, we can brush or rub or massage or tap our bodies. But what about our faces? The most movement my face gets is chewing. So we can bring our fingertips in to help move the lymph in the face. So let's go ahead and take our first two fingers, or whatever fingers are comfortable for you to use, but we're gonna kind of, bring your fingertips together. That's the part of your fingertips that you're gonna use here. And we're just gonna make some little circles right behind the ear, just where the jaw and the neck connect. So just making some circles here on both sides of the neck. Keep the neck long by tucking it and drawing the base of the skull up and back. Just gentle. Maybe you might reverse those circles and see which way feels better. And you might make some figure eights. Just noticing any tension or tenderness. And then we'll come to make those same circles, maybe using just one finger here. right here outside the nose lobes, right where the cheekbone meets here. And you might notice again some tenderness or some tightness here. And we'll just make some little circles here. This is awesome. And I know it's not pretty, but screw it. This is awesome if you have sinus issues, allergies, congestion. And actually you can slow this way down and make those circles as big as feels good to you in whichever direction feels good to you. And then we'll come up to where the brow and the nose and the eye sockets meet, again with 1 or 2 fingers, and make some circles right here. Again, it's what feels good to you, what pressure, what timing, how slow or fast you move, what direction. And then we'll take our fingers up and across under, right at the brow line, just underneath your eyebrows, right on that brow bone, out across to the temples. And we'll make some circular motions here. And then we'll draw the fingers down along the front of the ears, just kind of making some circles all the way down to the bottom of the earlobe. And again, keep redirecting yourself to tuck your chin and keep your neck long. It's hard not to go, oh, this feels so good. And then we'll take those fingers back to the nose lobes and we'll just draw down towards the base of the ears. And then we'll take 1 or 2 or 3 fingers and gently brush, again, retuck the neck, or the chin. And we'll brush the fingers gently down along the sides of the neck towards the base of the throat. And then just rest your hands on your lap. And notice how your face feels, your neck. Retuck that chin and maybe take a moment just to rock the head from side to side. And then come back to center. Notice any sense of energy or aliveness you feel anywhere. Notice any tension or tightness you feel anywhere. Just noticing, we're just gathering information. We're paying attention to ourselves here. Same friend I was talking with earlier that's going through chemo right now, we're talking about how so many times doctors look at the symptoms and treat the symptoms, but they don't have the time or whatever to ask more questions and get to the deeper issues. They don't have time to pay attention to us. And so just give your attention to yourself, your experience. And then once again, we'll now curl both fists in and take those flat parts of the fingers and we'll just tap alongside. In fact, let's do that a little differently. We'll take the right hand underneath the inside of the collarbone, just underneath the collarbone on the left side of the chest, and we'll tap out towards the shoulder. Again, come back to center towards the sternum and out towards the shoulder socket. And then the opposite side. So if you started with the opposite side, just move to whatever side you haven't done. That happens a lot. Oh, relax your shoulder down if you notice you're hiking it up towards your ear. As much as possible. This is a bit of effort here. And then we'll come a little lower, and you can do this seated, but it would be probably easier standing. So I'm gonna stand and make sure you're near your chair for balance, but we'll bring the flat parts of the hands just underneath the rib cage right here and at the center of the abdomen on either side of the solar plexus. right at the diaphragm, and we'll tap down towards the groin. It's easier to do it standing because you get more belly, more length that way. You can get to it more. But if seated is your practice today, then please honor that and do what you can. And then we'll come out a little farther towards the hips. Again, starting underneath the ribs and down towards the groin. And then out towards the side body. Just as much as you can. A little awkward here. Just be okay with the awkwardness. Life gets awkward sometimes, and if we can get comfortable with being uncomfortable on our yoga mat, then we can handle those awkward, uncomfortable experiences off the yoga mat with a little more grace and calmness in our nervous systems. And then just shake your hands out and tuck that chin again, lengthen the neck. I know it's a repetitious thing, but I find myself doing it all the time. I can't see most of you, but I see it in my live classes. And it's common because we're training our bodies to do that, right? In our culture right now, we're sitting all day and we're kind of jutting our chins forward and rounding our backs. So this whole practice is about undoing that. That's what most of yoga is undoing. And then if you'd like to get a little bit into the lower body, again, you can come back to the chair for this or do it standing. In fact, you might even come in front of your chair and sort of hover over the chair a little bit and then let your body bow down over your knees, or else you can just come to a seat. Either way, we're going to take the flat part of the hands again, and we're just going to go down as far towards the ankle as you can along the outside of the calf, and just come up towards the knee. A few times here, and then gradually move inward towards the backs of the calves. And then begin to come up. If you're seated, we're going to take the hands to the knees, and we're going to draw the heart forward. In fact, we'll do that whether we're seated or standing. If you're bent over, we'll draw the heart forward, roll those shoulders back and down again like you're wanting to tuck them in your back pockets. Hug your elbows in towards your sides, and then lift up, leading with the heart, tucking the chin, and coming up with as flat a back as feels good to you to keep that low back nice and safe. Take a big inhale here, exhale, let it go. One more time. Breathing in and out of the nose. Relax the shoulders. Relax the jaw. Just notice what you notice. What's happening in your feet, your calves, your arms, your heart, your face, whatever you notice. Just paying attention without judgment. Maybe noticing areas of tightness or tension or pain. And just not judging those areas, but just offering them compassion. Compassion is that empathetic desire to see the end to one's suffering. So just extend that compassion to all those parts of yourself that are tight and in pain. And as you next inhale, you might draw that breath in and imagine that you can send it to those places. After all, every single cell of your body is getting oxygen every time you inhale. So maybe you can feel that subtle sense of expansion as you invite the breath into those tight, tense, painful places. And then as you exhale, relax the shoulders, relax the jaw, relax the belly, and invite all of those places to soften and relax and receive your compassion. And just a few more breaths like that, inviting that compassion, that love, that connectedness to your own body. Good or bad, right or wrong, invite yourself to come back home into your body like a well-loved house with a squeaky door and a grumpy floorboard and a place where ants keep coming in and you just can't seem to stop it, whatever it is. Just love your body as your home, your well-loved, lived in for many years home. And just extend some gratitude and compassion to every one of the 37 trillion cells in your body, whether they feel good right now or they don't feel so good, all the places. We'll inhale and open our arms out as wide as feels good to you. And then exhale, wrap your arms around your shoulders, right arm on top. And just bring those palms up the upper arms towards the shoulders as much as is comfortable for you here, so that you can keep that neck nice and long, the base of the skull lifted. And just hug yourself here and get a little bit of movement, inhaling the elbows up towards the sky. And exhaling the elbows down towards your knees. And you can tuck your chin here as you roll down. So inhale, lift the elbows up, look up as much as feels good in your neck. And exhale, round forward, drawing those elbows towards your knees and tucking your chin in towards your heart. Inhale and roll up. Exhale, round down. One more time, let's inhale, roll up, release your arms. And then exhale, draw the arms back in, left arm on top this time. Walk your hands up your arms towards your shoulders as much as feels good to you. Nice big inhale here. Maybe you notice your shoulders expand. You might notice your heart lifting. You might even feel the breath right behind your heart, expanding between your shoulder blades as you inhale. And maybe you can soften and relax those shoulder blades down and back as you exhale. Stay right here, or begin to find that movement, inhaling and lifting the elbows and gaze up towards the sky. Exhale, rounding forward, chin towards the chest, elbows towards the knees. And just continue to move slowly and gently with your breath. One more time, we'll inhale those elbows up, stretch the arms out as much as you like, look up towards the sky, back bend as much as feels good to you here, open your throat, open the collarbones, and then exhale, bringing your palms back together at your heart, lengthening through the back of the neck. And just honoring yourself here, honoring your practice, and honoring everyone with whom you have shared that practice today. In the tradition of yoga, the light within me honors and respects the light within each of you. Namaste.